Hello and welcome to I Am Geek. This is episode 235. I'm Katrin and I'm joined by Chris and our good pal Ryan. You may be wondering why you're not hearing Ryan's voice here. It's because Ryan is joining us via Skype call across the globe, or at least the United States. He is at Disney World, folks. Surprise, surprise.
Shocking.
How are you, Ryan?
I'm good. I mean, this may be the last time I'm at Disney for a long, long time. Like, I'll show you. There we go.
There it is. So if you're watching on
There's the
YouTube,
castle.
you'll be able to see the main street and the castle, and it's so glorious.
And it's starting to rain.
Oh, good. So you've been celebrating your birthday. You've been celebrating Star Wars Day yesterday, and so how's it been?
It's been fun. Today was hot, but now it's rainy. But yesterday was crazy with all the people dressed up and then have their lightsabers. So it's been a really fun time. I'm not. It's weird not being here without my family.
Yeah.
So just nobody to talk to really much. I mean, I did hang out with the Kyber curator yesterday.
Yeah.
Today.
Nice.
And now I'm on my way out of the Magic Kingdom to go see Doctor Strange.
Oh.
Ooh.
So you're going to Disney Springs to go see that, right?
Yeah, going to Disney Springs.
Awesome. Are you excited about the movie? Are you even after seeing some of the things online about some bad reviews and some spoilers and
I've stayed away from it.
Good for you. I've tried my best.
Thank you. About bad reviews. Say bye to everybody. Bye. I'm on a live stream right now.
Bye. Bye.
The monorail. Here's a pro tip. Ready? Pro tip.
Pro tip.
Let me figure out where it's at. Okay, over here. If you're leaving Magic Kingdom, especially at nighttime, don't go on the monorail that goes straight to the Ticket and Transportation Center.
All right.
Because that's the line. Go over here to the resort monorail because it stops at the Tickets and Transportation Center, and there's usually no line at all.
There you go.
Ooh.
That is a pro tip. Very nice.
Yeah,
Write that down, folks.
You have to make one stop at the Contemporary for a few minutes. Not even a few minutes.
A few minutes.
And then the next stop is the Ticket and Transportation Center. So it'll save you a lot of time.
Very cool.
Nice. You're just not gonna run to downtown? Just make a run?
I have to run across the water. I have to run around the water.
Yeah.
Just go around the water. No problem. You got this.
Take a lot longer, probably. So probably not a good idea.
This is going to be really fun doing a live stream in a monorail. People sitting.
It might cut out too, so we'll probably try to end it here in a second with you joining us. But so anyways, so you're going to see that movie this week. Moon Knight ended. Do you have any words about Moon Knight? What did you think about the finale?
The finale of Moon Knight?
Yeah,
I liked it. I thought it was too short and a little rushed.
Just that finale or the series as a whole?
Oh, the finale I thought was too short. Well, I mean, the series as a whole should have been longer.
Yeah.
But, but the finale.
Guys, please make sure to move all the way down to the end for me.
Hey, move all the way down the end.
All the way down.
Move all the way down, Ryan.
The finale seemed a little rushed, and they tacked a character on at the end instead of fleshing them out. And I thought, well, if they're doing a season 2, then it should be fine. But then they announced that they're probably not doing a season 2, which I felt was weird.
Well, yeah, they really set it up for a second season. Like it really plays as though like there's further stories to tell with this. But yeah, I don't know.
We shall see. Yeah, especially the way it ended with the mid-credit scene. You know, it's like it explains something, but it seems like there should be more. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I just said Oscar Isaac said he's not signed on for season 2.
Oh my goodness.
Or that nobody even asked him about it. He said he would do it. somebody to ask him about it, but
Oh, never know. I mean, I guess they have to kind of see how it goes with this season and, how it's received after everything. And maybe they'll do another. But, I mean, I don't know what else they could do, honestly. But,
I mean,
I don't know. I mean,
they cut 2 MCU characters out of the season.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They said they decided just to keep it a
Contained
story. They've maybe even filmed the scenes. Maybe. Here comes the
Interesting.
monologue.
awesome.
Comes the
Well,
monorail.
we'll have a round table very soon. Hopefully, Ray Chase can join us along with Mrs. Street, and we'll talk about everything that went on in the episode. I'm sorry, in the seasons rather, and that'll be a lot of fun.
Not my mom.
Not my wife.
Not that Mrs. Street. That's true. Yes, Jen Street. Well, they're both Jen.
If she
Whatever.
wants to.
Yeah, she wants to. Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us, Ryan. Like I said, I don't know if we'll lose you on the monorail, so we'll probably go ahead and let you go and be on your way.
I'm sure I could pass the phone around on the monorail.
Get the por favor, yo tengo de la hottest puertas or whatever. Go on.
All right, I'll let you guys go.
All right, man. Have fun.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. So we are back. It's just Chris and Ryan now. Chris and Ryan. Chris and Chris. Katrin and Chris.
Who's who?
I don't know anymore.
I don't know what's going on.
So that was fun. I hope he has a good time and doesn't spoil the movie for us.
That's the big thing. Hope he doesn't spoil the movie for us.
My big thing is when I go see a movie before other people do, I always struggle with, do I tell them I liked it or do I tell them I hated it or do I just say nothing at all?
I know some people are like, well, I just want to know if you liked it or not. And some people don't even want to know that.
Right.
So, yeah, you're not really sure what to say. I just wait for them to ask. And I'll go, I liked it or I didn't like it. Or if I didn't like it, I'll just say, I'll leave it up to you.
Right. I think that's a good way to do it. I don't want to go in with any kind of expectations, and I don't want other people to go in with expectations or, so I just try to leave it.
There's a lot of spoilers apparently flying around. Even one of the trailers that got put out recently had a couple of kind of spoilerish things in it. And I guess Marvel took the trailer down. Oh. Supposedly. Yeah. They're like, we shouldn't have shown that. It's probably still out there, I'm sure. Yeah. But they probably just took it off of there.
I happened to just see one of the trailers during a show I was watching, and I was like, oh, that seems like a big deal.
It was something with that. And then, then I follow a few groups on Facebook that also took pictures of that trailer and stuck it on their groups, and it's just like, oh, yeah, saw those things.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, and there's a Snapchat filter too that puts the Doctor Strange cape, I guess, on you, and it does something with your face too. And I'm like, why is that on your face? I guess that's a spoiler too. I don't know.
Oh, good. And then I follow one MCU person, and they posted that they were going to the Doctor Strange red carpet, and they're all dressed up. And so you're like, well, if they're going to the red carpet, they're probably in the movie, because I don't see them going to a Marvel premiere right now for any other reason, because they haven't been in anything in a while. So it's just like, oh, yeah, it's definitely, It's just like, oh,
we'll see. Are you going this weekend?
I'm going Sunday. Not really Sunday. That's typically when we go to the movies. There's less people. Yeah, which is nicer.
For sure.
So last time I went to see the Batman, there's a kid behind us rocking in his chair, making noises the whole time. I was just like, Stop.
Yeah. People can be annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I am going to be out of town for Mother's Day weekend, so I don't know if I'll see it. It's in there's a movie theater there, but it's not a what do you call stadium seating. So it's like the old style flat kind of, or incline a little bit, and and it's fine. I mean, it's totally fine. It would be fine, and there wouldn't be many people in there, I don't think. So I mean, I could go do it. I just hate to, for as little as we'll be there, to go for 3 hours to go see a movie and be like, see y'all later. Go do this. So,
later, losers.
Yeah. So I don't know. I do have a free pass that I could come back home on Sunday and then go see it that night. So I don't know. I guess I need to figure that out. But I still haven't seen the Batman. Sadly enough, it's on HBO Max now. I guess I can watch it there. Max.
But take that in. It's a little longer of a movie, so you need to set aside a little bit of time for it.
Yeah. That's why I'm hesitant to watch it, because I know it's going to take a long time and it's going to take me days to finish watching it. Because it just have little windows of time to watch those kind of things. So.
Yes.
All right. So tonight, instead of talking about Doctor Strange, because we've already talked about the trailer, and we don't want to talk about spoilers. We don't want to get into the details. We thought we'd have some fun and just talk about some recent stories that are strange instead of the movie Strange. We'll talk about strange things. So these were things that I found on the internet that are the stories that happened pretty recently, as of this week or last week. So we're going to jump on into these, and we'll talk about them. The first story here is from Carlinville, Illinois. And these people are trying to sell their house. And you take the pictures around the house, you see all the rooms and everything, but they decided to spice it up a little bit and get one of their kids. His name is Cole. Apparently, the mother's name is Danielle Sullivan. I don't know why they put the name in there, but anyways. But Cole dressed up as Michael Myers, the Halloween slasher, not Michael Myers, the actor from Saturday Night Live. But Eddie hid in different corners and around in hallways and different things like that. I thought this was hilarious. I thought this is a great idea. I don't know if it would I think it would attract more people to buy the house in some ways, just because it's funny. And then some people will be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm not living there."
Yeah, it'll definitely get more people looking at it, and so that ups your chances of people seeing it and people that would buy it. But that's really weird.
I've never heard of anybody doing this, and I think it's a fun idea. And they didn't. It was some of the pictures were kind of scary looking, like you see him just kind of peeking, and that's where I think they really should have done more of, like a reflection in the window and just barely see it. And if you're looking close, like, just kind of sneaks up on you. But they did things. Yeah. They did funny things where he's like, he's behind a curtain that's see-through curtain, so it really, and it's like he's trying to hide, and be funny. So. Or he's making a sandwich in one picture, I think.
People that bought the house just sitting there when he'd be like, "Yeah, that's where Michael Myers was, staring at us. He'd be right there."
And it's an old house too, which made it even better. It kind of had some weird rooms to it, some old 70s decor and things. So it was perfect. That was a great idea.
I know you can see yourself living here, but can you see yourself dying here? That's the question you want to ask when buying a house.
Yeah. That would, there's a potential that it could cause some nightmares for some folks if you just think about it too much, I guess. But I think it's a very cool idea. Very strange, but very fun idea too. So
yeah, you can mix up horror characters.
You could, yeah. You could do Freddy. Yeah. Freddy. Again, it's got to be one that it's one that just peeks around the corners and things like that. Not really any monsters so much, or Alien. Well, maybe an Alien. Like you could do the one from Signs,
Yeah.
right? In the movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's just walking in the. Oh my gosh! You know.
Yeah. If you take video, yeah, you could have it like go past a window.
Yeah. Oh, because that's the new thing.
We just show me the house here. What was that?
Yeah. So we the house we moved into in 2020, the realtor had a drone or had somebody come in with a drone. So I guess this is a new thing people are doing and show the house with the drone. So it's instead of just trying to take these crazy angles in the house, they've got this drone flying through and you can see the house. I was like, that's pretty cool. So that would definitely be something where you could have somebody moving, just like walking in the background, and it'd be super creepy. But again, it could hurt the chances, of it selling.
Yeah, and definitely maybe character in the background's fine, but don't decorate the house in like horror fashion. Don't put a big old pentagram or something drawn on the floor.
Drawn on the floor.
Stuff like that. Maybe don't. Blood running down the walls. Yeah.
Yeah.
Limbs in the bathtub. Nothing like that. Probably.
Not a good idea. Probably.
Yeah, not a good idea.
Not a good idea. The next story comes from Arkansas, and it's actually just down the road from me because it's in West Memphis, Arkansas, where this happened, and I'm in Memphis. And apparently the state of Arkansas is suing Family Dollar over the discovery of more than 1,000 rodents in a distribution facility that prompted the discount retail chain to recall items purchased from hundreds of stores in the South. So, I don't. The sad thing is I don't think people have heard about this, and it's like, oh my gosh,
Yeah, that's not good.
The misconduct by Family Dollar stores and Dollar Tree, so they share the same facility, allowed them to maximize profits while causing Arkansas citizens to purchase hazardous, adulterated, contaminated products. I'm not sure
what are those rats doing to those things. Yeah.
They found live rodents and dead rodents in various states of decay, rodent feces, dead birds, and bird droppings.
Rodent, they're just sitting there smoking. Oh man.
Yeah.
Whoever buys these pretzels aren't gonna be happy.
It's not good. So if you're in Alabama, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, or Tennessee, which is where I am, and I'll be visiting Arkansas this weekend. If you've bought things from those facilities, you should be aware. But I also said they were not aware of any illnesses related to the recall, so maybe they caught it in time.
Oh, well.
Who knows? The products included human foods, animal foods, cosmetics, medical devices, and over-the-counter medications. So there's lawsuits and all these things. It's not good.
Everything you don't want a rodent to touch, they had.
Yeah. According to the lawsuit, state and federal inspections show Family Dollar had known of the rodent infestation at the facility since at least January 2020.
Oh gosh. Oh, wow.
There's a video of somebody, they posted a video on social media where a former worker is trying to feed a potato chip to a large rat sitting on a stack of boxes. Oh my goodness. That's not good. The lawsuit is seeking up to $10,000 for each product that was distributed over the past 2 years.
Wow.
I mean, that could really damage this company. I mean, that could be the end of Family Dollar and the dollar store. They've got one in every corner, I guess, but that's a lot. Because the problem is that the people that bought these things could get sick and die from disease. So that's crazy. We don't shop there much, so I think we're safe. But there's one right around the corner. I mean, it's always tempting to go by. It's like, well, just go there and get something, but
not anymore.
Yeah, not anymore. Similarly, not similarly. It has to do with food. There was another story in Alabama where a truck spilled raw chicken parts all over a street. And According to Alabama Department of Transportation, a truck carrying chicken waste lost its load on a downtown boulevard sometime before 8 a.m. It scattered across 3 lanes with pieces splattered for apparently a quarter mile. Police indicated. Yeah,
chicken waste like this.
Yeah. They encourage people to hold their nose and drive carefully as they come through downtown, and then to wash your car immediately.
Just hold your nose. It's fine.
I mean, what do you do? I mean, that for a quarter of a mile, it's like you can't just I guess you send the snow scrapers down there.
Don't breathe for a quarter of a mile. Oh, I hope it wasn't a hot day.
Yeah. It's Alabama, and if this happened this week, then it could have been hot. Could have been cool too. We've had some cool days over this way, so
there could have been people scraping it up. I mean, roadkill is, sometimes a nice cuisine. I don't know, but the fact they called it chicken waste, and it said it dumped a load.
Maybe poor choice of words. I don't know.
Yeah, not the best. Not the best thing.
But so it's probably the byproduct stuff, not like these weren't like chicken tenders or chicken breasts. No, it's like the leftover pieces they were going to put in dog food or bologna or something.
The stuff they clean out. Yeah.
And so one user wrote on Facebook as they read the story, it said, "Lord, please don't raise the chicken prices to cover this." And then another one joked, I don't know why we didn't think of this. I guess the chicken didn't make it across the road. So
parts of it might have.
Parts made it across. That's true.
Not the whole chicken, just the waste.
So, and Chris, if you're looking for a new job,
okay,
I want you to know that Antarctica is hiring. And if you'll remember, you and I recorded a recent story about the ship, the Endurance, that was trying to cross the Antarctic.
It seemed like a cakewalk. So
it seems like a great place to be.
Yeah.
But
nice place to live.
The area is officially known as Port Lockroy and is also known as the Penguin Post Office. So they're recruiting for a new team to be based in Antarctica for the 2022 to 2023 season. The roles available are base leader, shop manager, and general assistant. So,
everyone left. We need someone else.
And it only gets to below 23 degrees, and
that's
might get a little bit colder. But like penguins, staff members will sleep in groups, sharing a single bedroom. And also, like penguins, there'll be no flushing toilet, but instead a camping toilet that must be emptied daily. There's no running water.
Wow.
Yeah, they can go up to 2 weeks without showering.
Sounds like no
internet. No internet. And if there's an emergency, it could take up to 7 days to get help. So,
the last group of people, like The Shining, happened basically, and there's no one left.
Yeah.
So they need.
But they do receive about 18,000 visitors each season to see the penguins.
Well, there you go.
On the Gautier Island, which is just off the west side of the Antarctic Peninsula.
30 Days of Night kind of comes to mind in this scenario. Or a great place for vampires to go hang out and kill people.
But I do have bad news. The applications would have been have been submitted by April 25th, so we've kind of missed that window.
Dang it.
Unfortunately, so better luck next time.
Yeah, there goes my chance of reliving the movie The Thing. Darn.
But if you're up for exploring other islands, there's an island in the Central Pacific that one user online believes that there is a crashed UFO that's fallen into the ocean, or on the island or something like that.
This is more my train of thought here.
Yeah. This is called Starbuck, not Starbucks Island, Starbuck Island on Kiribati, I assume is the correct pronunciation. And so a lot of people do this. I don't know if you've ever seen these videos where people will just look at Google Maps or Google Earth, and they'll zoom in on different places, and they'll find these really strange things. Sometimes it's funny things like somebody waving at the camera or something like that, or just a weird car or something, you know. But they found some kind of structure, some kind of part of of something, and nobody knows what it is. Many people have commented and said it looks like a ship, maybe from the 19th century or something like that. Like maybe it out in the ocean and it crashed and it just floated, it washed up to shore, you know. But it's weird.
Interesting.
Yeah, one person said it's part of a wrecked ship from the 1800s. The tide has dragged it across the sandbank through the decades. Okay. I don't know why you know that, but But it said the user's suggestion the strange object was a UFO crash sparked a stream of comments on the video that's been viewed over 600,000 times. So it's pretty interesting. I mean, you never know. We don't know everything, but it's amazing how big the Earth is and all these different islands where there's just nobody there and things like this happen, and or maybe they're people are far away from these things. But so it's always interesting to me to see that kind of stuff.
That's cool.
Even driving, I do a lot of driving, and seeing just these areas of nothing in some of these states where you're just, and sometimes it's farmland, so there's something there, but sometimes it's just trees, and you can't see a whole lot because of the trees, but I just imagine there's not much there, and I'm like, you know, they keep talking about it getting crowded, but we've got all this land, it can move out this way, but you wonder what all's out there, you know, and what kind of things like this you can find.
Driving through there, and suddenly you lose like 2 hours of time, and you feel a little uncomfortable sitting again for some reason. You're not sure why.
So one of the stories, I don't think I added it to our list, was there was some lady that claims she was abducted like 2 times, and she fell in love with the aliens that abducted her and all this. It was really weird. I decided to leave it off, but we'll mention it anyways. It was kind of fits with this story.
I love them. I'm sure they love you too. That's fine.
Yes. So on the same vein of kind of looking at cameras and things, there was a paranormal investigator that has some closed circuit television footage of I guess they were doing some investigations, and there was a doll that was on a stand, and the doll flew off of it and crashed onto the table, and it was in a case, and it caused the glass container to smash despite being a really flat base. So they checked for all these things, to see if there were loose floorboards or anything that would have caused the fall. But what they think happened is that they believe that Annie, dubbed the world's most possessed doll, pushed this other haunted doll off of her stand because she is jealous of her.
Well, that makes sense. That I think is the most believable explanation of why that happened. Yeah, I can't think of any other reasonable explanation. That must be it. It must be. Jealous evil doll.
Yeah, it's creepy. Emily Rose is the name of one of the dolls, and then the other one is Annie. Yeah, Annie. I'm not too familiar with these, but apparently they're famous.
Sound familiar.
Yeah.
Emily Rose.
Yeah. As soon as it happened, I stood still and stared because I just was taken aback by what had just happened. I bet you were. So I don't know what to believe and on that kind of stuff sometimes, because it's weird how some of that stuff just kind of happens and flies off. But I have a hard time believing another doll pushed a doll. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, of course, you come to think like, okay, the people behind this that posted the video, or they just. They believable. That's what it comes down to me. Like, are the people that are putting this out there, are they believable?
Right.
Or are they just, trying to get some attention?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, you can set up videos, especially when it's closed circuit TV and it's junk, because it's too grainy. I mean, where I work, we have video cameras, and the footage is never good. It's never like what you see on TV with the cop shows or different things like that, where they can zoom in really close and get the details of the license plate. And it's getting better, but for the most part, it's grainy. And in this particular instance, it was black and white because it's dark, so it's night vision, and you can put a string on something and you'd never know. And so it's probably something like that, and they made a video of it. So, but much like that story, apparently, did you know that Joe Biden is dead?
I did not know that.
Yeah, apparently, Jim Carrey is one of a few other people that are impersonating Joe Biden, and Joe Biden is not really alive. There's a group of people that believe this, and it just, as we were talking about some crazy people that believe different things like that, and they're convinced that all this stuff is real sometimes. They believe that these are Trump supporters who seem to think that several actors are wearing a mask and pretending to be the president.
Yeah, I mean, Jim Carrey is a chameleon.
Yeah. It's let's see. Jason Selvig of The Good Liars, a comedy duo that regularly interviews conservatives about politics, posted a video Tuesday on Twitter in which he interviews a Donald Trump supporter who shares her belief that Biden is actually dead and that multiple actors are impersonating him. And Jim Carrey responded to the video on Twitter and said, "Oh dear." And
they caught him.
Yeah, so Selvig, the comedian, says, was doing the interview. He said, "You think Biden is not alive right now?" He's like, "No." And the people said, "No, it's the guy that's doing the stand-up job of trying to wake people up is an actor wearing a mask." I mean, there are several different people playing Joe Biden at this point. I myself think that was Jim Carrey. I just can't imagine that. I mean, whether or not you like the guy, you would think
really
that. I mean, it's what's funny though. I've been listening to a podcast called Fly on the Wall, and it's Dana Carvey and David Spade, and it's hilarious. They interview different people from Saturday Night Live. Either they were hosts on the show or they were the actors on the show. And one of the things they said was, talking about their impersonations, because Dana Carvey has some of the best impersonations of different people, and he said that he's noticed before the people he impersonates that they often will sometimes take on that some of those things that they say or the way they say it, those actors say it. Because they've heard it, I think they were referring to somebody they were talking to. I can't remember who's that does and it may be Dana Carvey that does it. Does a Barack Obama, and he was saying that how Barack was kind of at times would talk like he would talk, and just because he watched it so much or something like that. It was interesting.
So I could see that happening where it amplifies like how you're doing. That's like, I mean, if you're like born in the South and you move away and your accent kind of goes away, and then you hear someone doing it, it gets like more like it amplifies it when you're talking to that person.
For sure. I mean, we definitely imitate the people we're around a lot too, and there's sometimes we pick up on different things they say or different ways they laugh or just different mannerisms that we didn't do ourselves. And maybe I've noticed sometimes I find certain things irritating about some people, and I'll end up imitating it because it's weird.
Gets in your head.
It gets in my head. But yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. Well, there was a woman who bought an outhouse toilet, or was near. Maybe she didn't buy it. She was at an outhouse toilet, and she was reaching in to get her phone, and she fell into the toilet head first.
Oh.
I'm trying to think where this, or remember where. Oh, yeah, this was in Seattle, in the Olympic National Forest, on top of Mount Walker, and Yeah.
So she fell head first into a toilet.
Yeah, I don't think I would do that because those don't get flushed. It's just a hole in the ground usually.
Yeah.
She was alone, and she tried to get out for 10 to 15 minutes.
Oh gosh. Oh.
So when she finally got her phone, she called 911 and was able to get in touch with the fire department. Fortunately, she was uninjured, but they encouraged her to get out and go take a bath.
I'm glad they encouraged her to get out. Like I guess she hadn't thought of that.
I mean, they got her out. They had to get her out. They had to pull her out. So they passed her blocks to stand on to reach a harness. So apparently it's deep. This is not just like a porta-john. This is a hole that went pretty deep where she could not pull herself out.
Like a horror story.
Yeah, it really is. So they had to put blocks down there so she could stand on it and grab on, and then they could pull her out. So yeah, we really need to stop using our phones in the bathrooms. By the way, folks, it's kind of gross. It's really gross. But
I remember the days when you had nothing to do besides like read the back of just a toilet bowl cleaner or something in there.
Yeah, magazine or whatever's in there. Yeah, there's I'm trying to think what would be in. Yeah, there's depends on what stage of life you're in. There's different things sitting there, but yeah. Yes, staring at the floor pattern.
Faces or
yes.
Weird things.
I thought I was the only one that did stuff like that.
Oh no, I've done that as well. Like that just like, well, that looks like a face. That looks like a dog.
Yeah. Yes.
That's a frog doing something like that. Yeah, you find things in the floor pattern because you get bored.
You do, and what's irritating is when the patterns, because it's small tiles in some cases and not linoleum or whatever. It's it like in the old days, right? But the small tiles and they mess up the pattern, and it just bugs you, and you're just like, oh my gosh, I can't get past this.
This isn't right. I gotta fix this.
Yeah. So one of the pictures on this webpage, they have ads. They have an ad for another story in there, but it says the most extreme toilets. And the picture on here is of a toilet that has a fish tank as the tank in the back. And the toilet seat cover has fish, maybe water in it. I don't think it's real. I think it's like an image of some sort. I just can't imagine that being real, but that's really weird. So anyways.
Yeah.
that was all of the weird stories, the strange stories. I hope you all enjoyed that. But speaking of weird, we did want to talk about one more thing before we go. Did you get a chance to watch the Wierd Al trailer?
I did.
So real quick, Wierd Al Yankovic is, as you know, the famous singer that does parodies of different songs. And there is a trailer for a movie that nobody really knew about. I guess it kind of just came out of nowhere, and it's going to be on Roku. We have Roku at my house, so it's like, oh, I'll just change it to Roku channel. That'll be great. I don't know how many people are actually going to see this movie.
I know we have an old Roku. We've not used it in years, so I don't even know how it works anymore, if it does. But I'm guessing they'll release it on iTunes or something eventually to rent or something like that, or some place to rent like that, which is what I'll do.
It'll be in other places, probably on YouTube or something, where you can rent it and watch it. So what do you think about it?
Well, I mean, the best part is that Daniel Radcliffe is playing Wierd Al Yankovic.
Yeah. Yes, so Harry Potter is Wierd Al Yankovic.
Yeah, and he bears a striking resemblance to him.
Yeah.
I mean, you can tell. I mean, you can tell. I think it's a fake wig that he's wearing. But
that's
just
my problem with it. Yeah.
Yeah, but just like his face, I don't know. It does. I think he does have a striking resemblance to him out of any other person you probably picked, as a well-known actor or whatever. And I think I've seen him in some weird movies. Was it something Akimbo? Guns Akimbo or something like that, where a weird movie where he gets guns taped to his hands and he gets thrown into this reality show where someone's trying to kill him, and he's trying to fight them off. And then another one, like Swiss Army Man or something, where he was basically a corpse the whole time. He's done a lot of weird movies and things.
Yeah.
So I think he'll do well with this. But yeah, there's not much to the trailer. Like it starts off like, 6 Grammy Award winner, like you don't know, it's like a big crowd screaming and yelling, and you're just like, oh, what movie is this gonna be? What famous artist will this show? And then he pops out with an accordion, and it's like, hey, it's Weird Al. So, and then like a little thing here and there, but the thing that I don't think a lot of people necessarily notice is the last shot, where he's closing a door. You see a woman walking behind him, and that is Madonna. It's not actually Madonna. It's a character playing Madonna. And she's in it.
Yeah, there's that's Evan Rachel Wood.
Yes.
I was looking at the IMDb. So, real quick, as far as like the wig goes on him, that was like I said, the part that kind of bothered me about it, because it just looks like Daniel Radcliffe with a wig and a mustache. It doesn't to me. And maybe it'll get, as you watch the movie, you'll kind of get into it and really feel it. It looks like a comedy, and which I think it's supposed to be a comedy, because one of the writers is Weird Al, and the other writer is somebody I'm not familiar with, but it is Eric Appel. But again, it stars Daniel Radcliffe, Evan Rachel Wood as Madonna, and Julianne Nicholson. To pull this back up to see who she is, but as Mary Yankovic. But there's also Dr. Demento, is played by Rainn Wilson. James Preston Rogers plays Hulk Hogan. And those are kind of the main, I guess, other characters. I was going to say actors, but the other characters in the movie that most people would recognize. Sicario is played by somebody. I don't know if that's somebody I should know or not, but. But yeah, I think that's going to be interesting to see those people. And it's, I guess you have to kind of make it a funny movie, because you're having these people play these people. You're kind of making fun of these things. And it's, again, he wrote part of the movie, right? So,
yeah, it can't be taken seriously. I even think it said something about like it's like loosely based on his life. Yeah. I'm fully expecting a UHF type movie out of this, which growing up I loved UHF. So it'll be interesting to see, especially when they get to the UHF part of his life, filming that stuff. What's going to happen?
Yeah, I think it looks like it'll be a fun movie. And there's one scene where he's on stage and he's drinking and he spews the alcohol up into the air, and I've enjoyed watching Weird Al videos and keeping up with him, but I don't know a lot about him. But just reading the description is kind of interesting. Let me go back to where I've got it. It says it explores every facet of Yankovic's life, from his meteoric, I guess that's what you say, rise to fame with his early hits like Eat It and Like a Surgeon, to his torrid celebrity love affairs and famously depraved lifestyle. I don't know. I've just enjoyed watching the videos and listening to music. But just like any other superstar, they've got their issues. And just recently we saw that the famous country singer, I just lost her name, that just passed away, committed suicide.
Judd.
Yes, Naomi Judd. Thank you. I had another name on mind for something else, but yeah, Naomi Judd. And it's so sad. It's got to be hard to live in that lifestyle and have all that attention, and then just feeding off of that attention, and then thinking that you're invincible and doing all these things, and then when it all goes away, it's pretty lonesome. I imagine, if you don't have you don't have faith, or you don't have hope, and so that's hard. But I think it's going to be kind of a lighthearted movie, like I said, and super enjoyable. I don't know when it comes out. Did you happen to see a date on it?
I don't remember seeing a date.
Look at the IMDb again.
IMDb just says 2022.
2022, yeah.
So, I mean, they finished filming it not that long ago, and I think it was a pretty quick production on it. Because, it wasn't too long ago that I remember hearing that he was going to be playing Wierd Al Yankovic.
Yeah.
So.
They, one of the funny parts, and it's at the very end, is he says, "Does anybody have an accordion?" And all of a sudden, these 3 accordions like show up in the shot. It's just like, okay, this is gonna be just a silly movie.
I
think it'll be good. There's one of the actors on the movie is Jimmy Walker Jr., which I was like, is that JJ? But it's not JJ from Good Times. He was actually in some other things, but he's the floor manager. But this guy was in Black Dynamite, which is funny because I was thinking JJ Dynamite, King Richard and again in Black Dynamite, whatever that is. I'm not familiar. Okay. All right. And then also in My Name is Earl.
Animation.
Yeah, and some animation as well, That's awesome. So lots of fun people. Again, it's on the Roku channel, so it's probably don't have the most funding for those kind of things. But one thing that's interesting, if for folks out there that do have a Roku, and you're like, I don't have cable anymore, what do I do? Then there is a channel, the Roku channel, and you can have hundreds of channels streamed on there. Some of them are dedicated to single shows, like shows from the black and white era, whatever era that would be, from the 50s or whatever, on through the 80s. I think there's like a Golden Girls channel and all these different shows there. So that's going to be, there's all kinds of stuff there that's pretty cool to watch, and you can just flip through, just like if you had cable. And there's plenty of stuff you don't care about. There's music channels, all these things. So if you don't have a Roku, and you want to get into streaming, it's definitely a good option if you don't want to get an Apple TV, because you can now stream. It has AirPlay, so you can stream your phone or other Apple device to Roku as well. All of the smart TVs have it nowadays, which is what we have. We like them a lot. So, not a sponsor. All right. There was another trailer that came out this week. The Obi-Wan trailer. We had seen a teaser, but this was the official trailer for the show that's coming out later this month. And I thought it was really good. I hate to discuss this without Ryan, but I'm sure we'll talk about it again on a Star Wars episode. But.
Yeah, I thought it was good, but at the same time, I don't feel like it necessarily showed anything super new.
No.
That we either didn't see in the teaser trailer or or know that was happening. So right. I thought it was good. It was perfectly fine trailer. I was already pumped for it. So
yeah, I love the last scene where it's you hear Darth Vader breathing, and then they show his Obi-Wan's face. And they make you think that's what he's looking at is Darth Vader, but it's probably not. But can you imagine, like, the first time, ever seeing Darth Vader in person, how you would react? You're just like, oh my gosh, what is this? It's because he's so menacing and scary, and that's what they've tried to portray, like in the Rogue One movie and other things where it's dark and he just appears, and you see that red lightsaber, or you hear the voice or the breathing, and it's so cool. That's what, part of what makes all of us love Star Wars so much is Darth Vader, right? He's what, for the most part, why a lot of people love those movies, because of how cool he is, even though he's a bad guy, right? But he has the cool stuff.
So I just hope when they meet and he goes, Anakin, and he's like, no, Darth Vader. He's like, no, I'm not going to call you. I'm sorry, no. You're little Annie. I'm calling you little Annie. I'm not calling you Darth.
Look at you.
Look at little Annie. No!
You can't even breathe well.
You can't even breathe well.
You remember that time when we were fighting and I said I have the high ground? That was awesome. It was a little Saturday Night Live reference there.
I'm on a box. I got the high ground again. What you gonna do?
One thing I didn't, I recently saw, and we've been rewatching the Phantom Menace and Clone Wars and all those movies, but is in Phantom Menace when they're fighting Darth Maul, Obi-Wan has the low ground. There's that big hole, and he's hanging, and he's about to die, like fall off into the abyss, right? And he ends up winning anyways, even though he has the low ground. So it is possible. And apparently Annie didn't see that movie, so that part of the movie.
He didn't teach Anakin how to overcome the low ground.
That's right.
He kept that in his back pocket, just in case he ever needed to defeat him. It was like, well, I'll just get the high ground, and he can never get me. And
that's right. He'll never know.
he'll never know my trickery of the high ground.
Yeah, until I'm too old. But yeah, I'm excited. That's coming out later this month. I think I'm traveling again during that release as well. I've got 2 trips at the end of this month, and trying to figure out actually if it comes out on a Thursday, right? At the end of the month. For some reason, no, maybe it's Friday. It's like a Wednesday, the 25th, right?
Yeah, it's either Wednesday or Friday. That's when Disney Plus puts their stuff out. They were saying like Wednesdays was episodes of shows and Fridays were movies. They have mixed that up since saying that. But that's supposedly what they said they're doing is Wednesdays or TV shows, Fridays or movies. But
okay. Well, I'm excited either way. We'll catch it, and hopefully it will live up to the hype. I don't see how it couldn't, but they've done a really good job, except for Boba Fett, putting out these shows. Speaking again about Moon Knight, I mean, is whether or not you like the story, it felt like a movie, and to say a show is like a movie, and it's the budget looks like it's there, and it doesn't look just like a cheap show. Says a lot about it, but I thought it was visually spectacular, very confusing at times about what was going on. And I'm gonna have to go watch it again, I think, because I'm just like, what is happening? But it did explain it when she watched the middle credits on some of it, But
I think Moon Knight actually did work as a TV show. Some of these are just like, that would have worked better as a movie.
Yeah.
Like just nonstop watching. But I think Moon Knight actually worked well, episodic and once a week. Overall, I think it did.
Speaking of, they in the Obi-Wan trailer, they don't call it a series. They call it a multi-night event or something like that in the trailer. I thought that was interesting. They're like, we're not calling it a TV show, so it makes you think it is only just this one, which I don't think they could do more than this one.
Because they touch on him a little in Clone Wars, and really it's just this section, unless they went back further and explored him as a Padawan like before, like growing up. But then you'd have to get a whole new actor and all new stuff, which you never know they could do. They gotta milk it. They gotta milk that cow, get everything out of it. There's one day that wasn't accounted for in Star Wars. This is what happened that day. It's
about time to get on to some other stories. I mean, as much as we love these people, it's like we can really do other things. There's a big universe out there, but and I think that's the plan down the road, is to really expand things. But so anyways, that'll be fun. And coming up in July is Comic Palooza. We talk about Comic Palooza. It's in Houston. It's an event that happens every summer, And this year it's in July 16th and 17th. We're hoping to be there, so we hope you guys will be there too if you're in the Houston area. But we've already heard some of the announced guests. One of the recent ones was Edward James Olmos, which you may recognize from Blade Runner, Battlestar Galactica, Stand and Deliver. I believe that's one of the ones he was in, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in Miami. Stand and Deliver was one of those movies we watched in like in school when they bring the card out, and it's like, we got to substitute, you know. And it's a motivational movie, you know. So that'll be cool. Jackie Earl Haley, which this one was kind of funny because he was in the Bad News Bears. He was a child actor. But
oh, really?
He's probably, yeah. I saw that on there. I was like, oh. But he may be well known for, or at least more well-known movies: Watchmen, Human Target, A Nightmare on Elm Street, RoboCop, and Preacher. So that's pretty cool. And then, of course, the first one that they announced was Robert Patrick from Terminator and Peacemaker.
Yes.
And X-Files and Son of Anarchy. So that's pretty cool. Seems like a pretty cool dude. One of the themes here, though, is it seems like we've got a lot of old guys that are coming. But these are all really great guests, I think. I think from what I've read, a lot of them are interesting to meet and very nice to talk to and all that.
Yeah, they seem thankful for where they are and what they've done. And then they announced someone else today.
And they did. So, and that's Alice Cooper.
Alice Cooper.
Another old guy.
Yeah, another old guy. But this guy's a rock star guy.
He is a rock star. He was in Wayne's World, Freddy's Dead, Final Nightmare, Alice Cooper Nightmare, and then Lace and Whiskey. But he's well known for his heavy metal shows, and I was going to say he would eat bats, but he didn't do that. That was Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, he wasn't the bat eater. Sure, there's other stuff that he did, but he didn't eat the bat. I'm interested to know if like he's just there, just like talking and signing autographs, or if he's actually going to like do a show or something.
I know they made it sound like he might be doing a show,
like performing, yeah.
Because it said he was going to rattle the walls with his music or something, and I'm like, maybe that's just their way of like saying, get excited for this rock star coming.
Yeah, we can afford to pay him to come here and have him meet him, but we can't afford a rock show.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That seems like a little much, but
yeah, maybe if they have like a panel with him, I'm sure he'll do something. I'm sure he'll bring out his guitar, play, do something, sing.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he still does. I think he still does some shows.
I think so,
actually. Yeah. But yeah, I think that would be an interesting panel. Not every guest they bring in does a panel. But I feel like that would be a good one to have. We went to can't think of the actor's name all of a sudden, Hellboy's panel last time.
Ron Perlman.
Ron Perlman, thank you. We also saw him in the elevator that I made us skip, and and then and there were some other ones we saw some folks from The Mandalorian that were doing a panel, but the one with Ron Perlman, he didn't really want to be there.
He was definitely he's proud of Hellboy and like the movies that he's done, but he's not really like a geeky type person. Right. He's geeky about theater and being a thespian. Yeah. And typically a lot of people that would get up and ask a question would be like, what about Hellboy 3? Or stuff like that. That stuff just like, I don't know. They just wrote it and I did it. So
yeah.
I can see it.
Yeah, and that's the fun part about those is hearing those stories, especially with the older guys, of like hearing these stories, where they came from, what they've seen, the people they've interacted with, and the crap they've put up with, and all this. And I guess that's the good thing about some of these. If they do panels, I imagine Robert Patrick may do a panel since he's been in something recent with Peacemaker.
Yeah, I can see Edward James Olmos doing a panel.
Yeah,
Battlestar stuff.
So that'll be good. We'll find out. And then they've also announced a slew of anime voice actors that I don't recognize, but if you're into anime, then I've heard
I'm
those
excited.
are pretty cool ones. Yeah.
I like voice actors.
I don't know if they may do a panel. I feel like they have somebody every year, those guys every year, but they don't ever do necessarily a panel. Well, they might do on now that they're doing those stages in the main hall. Maybe they'll
especially if they have like an assortment of them that have all done the same show.
Yeah,
they'll typically have like a show panel, and they'll bring them out and they'll talk about the show. Yeah, specifically. Yeah.
So I'm glad they started announcing their lineup, and people are getting excited about going, and we finally we haven't heard back from them yet about us going, but we imagine we'll be back there. I imagine, and
some way,
we've got to figure out we hope so, and we'll do a live show if Lord willing, and we gotta start working on what that will be. So stay tuned. But definitely, if you're in the Houston area in mid-July, make an effort to be there. Come see us. Come see everybody. It's a lot of fun just to walk around. I've got a fun cosplay I'm hoping comes together, and I'm going to have to ship part of it, I think, because I don't want to carry it on the plane. But the helmet I don't really want to carry, or my fake gun. I don't feel like I want to deal with that.
It'll be fine.
So. Yeah, I thought about I could take the helmet. It's just a helmet, but just carrying it.
Wear it.
Just wear it. Can you take it off, sir? We need to see your face. No. No, not doing it.
No.
So
I was a man.
Yeah. I still like the game we did. I don't know if you all enjoyed it, but was it Cobra Commander or Skeletor? Where I read the lines and you all had to guess which one was which.
That was
fun.
And
then you did the voices. That was what made it funny.
That was good. I like that.
Yeah. All right. Well, this was fun too. I hope you all enjoyed the strange stories. Thank you, Chris, for going along the ride here. This has been episode 235, and thank you for listening. And if you're on the live stream, we did see Vance Cope there on the live stream on Facebook. Sorry I didn't respond there, but he was watching the end credits of Doctor Strange, so he just finished it. But he didn't say anything. Wow. He just said he was there. That's all he said. But be sure to check us out on social media. You can find us anywhere: YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok now, and Facebook as I Am Geek Show, all one word. And you can join our Facebook group, which is I Am Geek -I Am group. We'll let you in. You just have to say I want to be in there and answer a question. Make sure you're not a robot. But if you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, know that you can listen to this and all of our other episodes on wherever you listen to podcasts. So Apple, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Amazon, not Facebook anymore. I just got a notification that they are not going to have podcasts anymore. Not that we won't be on there. It's just our shows won't be played through their player anymore. I guess they weren't getting a lot of traction on that. So I think that's fine. Whatever. But if you can't remember any of those things that I just said of where we are, you can check us out at I Am Geek Show. We've got links to all of that. And you can check us out there. And we also have a shop on Spreadshirts at shop.spreadshirt.com/IamGeek, and you can buy some shirts that have our logo on it too if you want, and support the show. But thank you for listening, and we'll be back next week for another show. Have a good day. Bye-bye.